All right, a very good morning to you. It is so good to see you on this Wellness Wednesday. I hope that you have had a better start to the day and you're ready for the discussion. My name is Winnie Lubembe, and like we always say, every single Wednesday, we tackle issues that affect us when it comes to our wellness, our health, our lifestyle, and today's conversation is no different, okay? In fact, today's conversation, I think... almost sisi wote, okay? Either you know someone or probably you yourself are struggling, and especially when we're looking at gastritis. So we're looking at the constant stomach discomfort, okay? And we're looking at when everyday habits turn into gastritis. And I'm pretty sure you've had this thing. I think it's one of the most common terms that we use, H. pylori. Najua mimi niko na H. pylori. Alafu uko na sijui several kits za H. pylori, okay? So what are some of these things? What are some of these daily habits that we do, you know, on a day-to-day basis that probably exposes us to gastritis? And do we even know whether it's gastritis or not? And also, we'll be looking at the gut and the mental health and the brain and the connection, you know, behind it. So it's going to be an amazing, amazing conversation. I'm really excited because the guests that I have today are the perfect people to discuss that, okay? If you have any question, like you know the drill by now, at NTV Kenya is how you can reach us on our digital platforms, as well as our WhatsApp number, which will be down on your screen, and ask any question that you have as far as gastritis, stomach issues, okay? Ask all your questions. I'll be able to answer them. But even before you send in your questions, just to introduce my guest this morning, and I'm going to start on my farthest right, okay? We usually start with the left and right, eh? Today I'm going to start on the farthest right. And we have Nancy Kabir, who is a mental health psychologist, joining us this morning. Karibu sana, Nancy. It is so good to see you. I've not seen you in a while, and then I'm like, do I say Happy New Year? But then I remember I have seen you this year.
Happy year.
Happy year. Yes. Happy second quarter.
Correct.
Of the year.
Right.
It is so good to see you. And next to Nancy, we have Dr. Richard Sandingo. He is not a new face, okay? But this is your first time here on Your World, right?
No, I think I've done quite a few programs before.
No, here on the show.
This show, yeah.
Yes.
Pretty much the first time.
Karibu sana. I hosted you, I'm trying to remember which year exactly, but I can't remember. It has been that long. Karibu sana.
It's been many years.
It is many, many years. It is so good to see you. And Dr. Sandingo, your name is very interesting. You're naturopathic doctor.
Correct.
Tuanzie hapo, hiyo nini? For someone who's actually coming across that term for the first time, and they're like, okay.
Yes. Well, naturopathy is a discipline of medicine, which is grouped in the alternative docket. Alternative medicine is quite wide. There's homeopathy, herbalism, naturopathy, you know, many other Chinese medicine, the rest of it. So naturopathy is a study of medicine. And when you qualify as a doctor, I think you're basically a GP, general practitioner. Yeah. And you can now specialize as time goes by. So a lot of people with Mtandao today, you can key in naturopathy and you find these courses are also offered all over the world, except in Africa.
Yeah, I see that. Have you had a lot of people confused for herbalist?
Yeah. I'm used to it. To be called a herbalist. Dawa ya kienyeji, you know, that is the common stay, and that's the knowledge people have this side of the world. But a naturopath is not bound to only or limited to herbal medicines alone, even though that's what most people know here. But the practice involves many other modalities and protocols that are used to heal and deal with chronic conditions. And I specialize on the oncology side of chronic conditions. And so we use things like light therapies, you know, far infrared, photoluminescent therapy, frequency medicine, bottom line really on nutrition, very heavy on nutrition.
Yeah.
And so herbalism is what people know. So I go with the flow.
It's fine. It is well. It is okay. It's
okay. No problem.
All right. Yeah. So before we get into the discussion, I just want to bring across the question that we have for you this morning. Even as you prepare your own questions, okay? We have a question for you. And the question that we're asking you is very simple. And that is, what is your go-to remedy when your stomach is acting up? Okay, what is your go-to remedy when your stomach is acting up? I can literally predict some of these answers, but let us know. What is your go-to remedy when your stomach is acting up? And especially for the parents with our children, what is that? What is that remedy that you go to? So we'll look into your questions in just a second. But really, can we start with, because we're focusing on gastritis today, and there's so many things that we do on a day-to-day basis that probably predisposes us to gastritis being, what we're focusing on. So can we really understand what exactly is it, and how do you differentiate just a normal stomach bug from gastritis?
So you want me to take
Yes.
it on? Okay. Gastritis is an inflammation. Is a condition where your stomach walls are inflamed and the mucous membranes that protect your stomach from acids burning are eroded away. Now, there are many things that can cause that kind of inflammation. Gastritis is also grouped in diseases of the stomach and many others that would be causing acidosis, or it's a state of your body becoming very acidic. As opposed to being alkaline. You can either be very alkaline or very acidic, and then you're sick in both sides. So the struggle for the body is to stay neutral, as much as neutral. In various parts, some places you're required to be a little more acidic, and in other places you're required to be a little more alkaline. But generally within the neutral stand is when you maintain your good health. And our good psychologists will tell us also in the mind, in psychology as well, you've got to maintain that state of neutrality. Now, with gastritis, you pretty much already been acidified, or you've caused acidity to happen to you through various ways. And I can name a few that a lot of people find themselves doing, and then they become acidic. Number one, that is really a big subject now, is stress. Stress today in Kenya is food for everybody, whether you're rich or poor, whether you're educated or uneducated, whatever classification you want to use. People are really stressed now. Financially, economically, spiritually, I think, even in the spiritual realms, there's a lot of confusion, church and stuff. And so stress comes in many, many ways. Traumas are quite, it's unimaginable. Of course, you're being traumatized by someone in America who decides to attack Middle East. And the Straits of Hormuz is already stressing us. And yet we are that far.
We're here, yes.
If it's not stressing you business-wise, it's stressing you in any other way. So what does stress do to you? When you have a lot of stress from work, peer pressure, business, lack and stuff, we tend to produce poisons into our bodies through your endocrine system. And particularly, I would want to focus on it disappears now. There are a lot of cortisol production. When you have an overload, what happens? You start becoming very acidic, and it affects the very membrane, the mucous membranes. It wears off.
It wears off.
And then the inflammation now starts happening when your acids start digesting a bit of your your tissues, the stomach tissue. The other cause is alcohol. People take alcohol. It's not a joke. And of course, you're taking to forget your stresses or to forget the problems that you're going through and everything. And repeatedly, when you take and there are those that take for leisure. So when you repeatedly take, apart from affecting many other places of your body, it affects the stomach. And once you erode away that mucous membrane, again, you get to a point where your acids start digesting
into the lining. Okay.
The other thing, the third thing, of course, is the notorious bacteria that everyone mentions, including you have mentioned right now, Helicobacter pylori, or it's known, normally people don't want that very fast name, it's very long.
Yeah.
It's H. pylori.
Pylori, yes.
Almost everybody, if not everybody, has Helicobacter pylori. We get it in our childhood, and the body keeps it on check, such that it doesn't affect you. But once it gets out of check, then it starts affecting you. That's one other cause of all these stomach issues: ulcers, irritable bowel syndrome, gastritis, and many others.
Let's put a pause there, because I know we're due for a break, but then when we come back, we'd want to really understand stress. Okay, what exactly does it look like, Nancy? Because I remember a few years ago, my aunt told me, you know, the people who are stressed don't even know that they are stressed. And the people who are not stressed say they are stressed, right? So what exactly does stress look like? And then would also want to understand the gut and the brain connection, and why, again, like Victoria said, stress is one of those big issues that bring about gastritis and, you know, many other stomach issues. So I don't know whether we take a break and then we come back, start with that, because I do not want to rush you into
Right, that's okay.
Right? Okay, so let's take that break, and then we come back, we'll pick up from there, but also go through your feedback on the question that we're asking you, that is, what is your go-to remedy when your stomach starts to act up? Okay, what is your go-to remedy when your stomach is acting up? We'll go through your feedback when we come back from the break, but also send in your questions. See you after the break. All right, welcome back to the conversation this morning on Wellness Wednesday, where we're tackling the daily habits that we do that exposes us to gastritis. And we're also just asking, do you even know the difference between ulcers, H. pylori, and normal stomach bug? And do we know some of those things that we do on a day-to-day basis that exposes us to issues when it comes to our stomach? But at the same time, also understanding how our gut and our brain, you know, are connected, and maybe some of the things that affect us, you know, as far as our mental health, end up affecting us when it comes to our gut health and our overall health. So that is what we are unpacking today right here on Your World. And the question that we're asking you is very simple. The question is, what is your go-to remedy when it comes to your stomach acting up? Okay, what is your go-to remedy when your stomach is acting up? Let us know at NTV Kenya across all board on our digital platforms, as well as our WhatsApp number, which will be down on your screen in just a second. And just let us know, what is your go-to remedy? Okay, and even for the moms, when your child comes and say, hey, you know me, I'm not feeling well, my stomach is acting up, what is your go-to remedy? Okay, let us know. But if you have any question as far as gastritis is concerned, H. pylori, wala kusema mi sina ulcers, mimi niko na H. pylori, send in all your questions, okay, and we'll forward them to my panel this morning. But Nancy, we were to understand the connection, first of all, between the gut and the brain, because they say if your gut is not okay, of course it will affect your brain, and vice versa, right? Yeah, so can we just first of all unpack that?
Right. So basically you interpret the world most of the time using your senses. Okay. Right? So it's one, what you're feeling, what you're seeing, what you're tasting, what you can be able to touch, and you know the last.
What you can smell.
Yes. What you can smell. Yeah. That's how we interpret the world. When we look at mental health, we talk about your thoughts, your behaviors, and your actions. Yes. Right? Yeah. So if what you're interpreting the world with in your mind is a bit skewed, right? Yeah. Even in your biology, it will be skewed, right? And if in your biology it is skewed, your stomach has a lot of nerve endings, neurons. It will communicate that. Yeah. Our good doctor here explains that the mucus gets eroded, right? So the brain and the gut have a two-way communication. So the gut interprets what the brain is saying, and the brain interprets what the gut is communicating.
Okay.
Therefore, if someone has a challenge with their mental health, right, they will equally have a challenge with their physiological health.
Yes.
Okay? And sometimes we treat the physiological health without supporting the person with their mental health.
Actually, most times.
I believe
So,
right?
So, yeah, therefore, we have to develop habits that help strengthen and build a positive outlook of life so that even our biological view is managed, right? Because your gut will tell you when you're anxious, when you're going through a nervous breakdown, when you're going through a crisis, you know? We label crisis as stress, but ideally it is distress, okay?
Wait, say that again.
Crisis, when you go through a crisis, it is you going through a distressing situation. It is not stress.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Okay.
Because stress, what would erode the stomach lining is a pile-up of so many situations that are stressful, hence setting you towards distress. Then your stomach lining gets eroded.
Okay.
Your stomach lining can be eroded, you know, at an impulse, immediately, or it can be eroded over time based on the habits that you're having. All right? So when an individual has discomfort, so you feel it, and most of the time we tell women, we emphasize that women feel with their gut, right? Men feel with their, Dr. Ari will tell us, right? But it's because women are very intuitive, right? So you feel with your gut, you'll know something is wrong with your gut. You have to be able to pay attention because that is your brain-gut connectivity. So you have to be able to analyze that or go to a professional who can be able to help you connect between what your gut is saying and what your brain is experiencing, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now you brought up the distress part, right? Because I'm looking at a situation where someone says, I am very stressed.
Yes.
But maybe they're not stressed.
Yes.
Their system is distressed.
They are going through distress. Stress, we are, as we grow up, we adapt and we develop mechanisms of dealing with daily challenges.
Yes.
When those daily challenges now become overwhelming, the condition you're in is distress. It's not stress.
It's not stress.
So we have to correct that.
Yes.
But if you get comfortable to saying, I'm so stressed, I'm so stressed,
we say that
you're
every
underplaying
day.
it. You're underplaying it, right? When you name something for what it is, you can be able to tame it. But if we keep underlabeling most of these things, then we are going through challenges of taming it and healing ourselves, right? Now, a lot of people will be like, if I have, if my stomach has a challenge, I'll go see maybe a GP, or I'll just go buy an over-the-counter medication, right? You will, that is first aid, that's Band-Aid. That's you telling your body, hold on a bit, right? But you've not dealt with the underlying issue. And eventually, it will speak back to you. Your body will call for help, right? And it might call for help in a crisis. So there are some things we do daily that build up to that. Dr. Ari alluded to alcohol. I'll talk about eating, our eating habit. You know, we always say food is medicine. It's medicine for a lot of things, but it can also be poisonous.
It can be.
Right?
Yeah, it can
so, depending on how you're eating, you will influence your psychological health, and you will also influence your biological health, right? We pay attention most of the time to an infant, a growing child. You will give them the very best, but you forget to also give yourself that
the very best,
the same attention, because your body needs that in order to generate some of the chemicals that are needed for survival, right? So food is medicine, but medicine when taken the right way. And the habit of procrastinating, eating anyhowly. Like growing up, we knew lunchtime was between midday and 1. But now in the working environment, You eat sometimes at 11, you eat sometimes at 3.
4 p.m.
Right?
You know?
At 4. Already your brain has sent signals that we are starving, so we need to produce more of the energy, maybe burn fat or so on and so forth. And when it does that, it's already set you up in a state of distress, right?
You know what? We never see it that way. We really never see it that way.
And then when it's time to eat, you want to eat so fast, right? Yeah. At the same time, still taking in a lot of air, affecting how the stomach chemicals are produced, you know. And at the same, when your stomach chemicals are affected, you might go through a state where you're bloated or you feel very gassy and, you know, even sometimes indigestion, which now could lead to the stomach lining having issues. So your behavior, your habits and discipline around food, let me call it discipline because all of us need to have that. Your discipline around food will also affect how your health is, right?
Oh, wow. Can we just go back to stress a little bit and look at what exactly it looks like, but you know, like what exactly that stress looks like. Because like you said, there's so many people who are stressed and don't even know they're stressed. And then there's some people who are not stressed and they say, you know what, me, I'm stressed.
I'd like to base it on we are different individuals who have different capabilities of dealing with the same thing. There are those who've gone through adversity and have developed coping mechanism, right? And so their fight-flight response, you know, does not put them in survival mode all the time. And there are those who have been in so much adversity that their mindset is so blocked that they feel they are always in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, the body says, produce more because we need to protect ourselves. So what is being produced internally? See, it's chemicals, right? And it's the harmful chemicals. So based on the coping mechanism that you have developed. So individuals need to have develop healthy coping mechanism that take them out of survival mode, right? So when you're in survival mode, you're in distress, or what people would say, Nikona stress through and through and through and through and through. It's not healthy. It's not. Don't say that again, because it's not something you're supposed to brag with, and you shouldn't normalize it. Stress is supposed to make you productive. Okay, there is good stress and there is bad stress, right? So having no stress means you're not productive. And because I always struggle with that thing. Is there anyone who is not stressed at all? Well, there are those who have blocked, their mind have gone into survival mode that they've blocked any opportunity or chances or ways of getting by. So they are just easy, right? So they're not ambitious, they're not driven, they're not, you know, thoughtful, they're just there, right? And then there are those who have gone through life and they think, I need to grab as much opportunities as I can because tomorrow is not guaranteed and there is crisis about to come. So that's someone who now has the opposite level of stress. But living without stress means that you're not productive. You have to be uncomfortable a little bit. You wake up thinking, I earned last month, it's date 6, but I still need to work because I need a little bit more money, you know? Or you're thinking, my child is in school, but they need to do better, you know? Or you're thinking about, you know, those thoughts create a state of stress or a drive, which is good. So we can call stress a good drive. But if it is not giving you good drive, it is making you overexert yourself, then it is distress, right?
I see. I see. Well, thanks, Nancy, for really highlighting that, because now it's important to actually differentiate the two. And Doc, just to pick up on what Nancy has talked about in terms of nutrition, because now it's not only our eating habits are terrible, but also the discipline that she talked about. And even then, because now a lot of people are like, instead of thinking about a balanced diet, we think whatever is available.
Yeah.
As long as there's
It's
food
filling.
on the table, you know, and it's filling to the you know, to the tummy, that's it. Can we just talk about how then that exposes us to conditions like gastritis and what we need to do better?
Nutrition is really, let me start by saying 95% of the diseases that we suffer from come as a result of lifestyle.
Okay.
Most of the lifestyle is not only sleeping and thinking and all that, it's about eating. And this is that old adage, what you eat is what you are. There's also a very old adage in medicine that the father of medicine coined it. It says, let your food be your medicine, and let your medicine be your food. Now, today's food, primarily, most of it is toxic by default, or even just by choices that you don't have. For example, today a lot of people are eating chemicals that there was food that used to be good and now it's not good anymore, and you do not know. A lot of people out there don't know. For example, let me just say, when you grab a banana, it's a good thing.
It's good.
It's sweet. It's nice. It's natural. It's organic. Hello. But a lot of people who are in business, it take the green bananas and make them become ripened very quickly by spraying chemicals. I don't want to mention those chemicals right here. They're toxic. They're terrible. The source is even scary. And some of those chemicals only need to work 6 hours to 8 hours, and it's yellow. Now you go and grab a banana and it's force-riped using chemicals, and once you eat it and it starts affecting you, and your gut is saying, no,
This is not
you didn't
good.
eat a banana.
Yeah.
You saw a banana, but you ate chemicals, and they're terrible. And you start having various biological situations. That goes with sukuma, that goes with spinach, that goes with potato, that goes with so many other things. There are a number of ways we cook that people never used to cook before. Deep frying. Everything now, most of the people are deep frying stuff. And a potato, a natural potato, is not only food, but is a medicine in its raw form. I could go on for an hour about a potato.
Okay.
When you boil it and eat it, it's a food. When you bake it and eat it with a jacket, it's a food. When you peel it and slice it and deep fry it, it's a chemical already. It's changed its molecular value.
Okay.
When you store it, what you call chips or French fries.
Yes.
I don't know whether only the French discovered that. People take a lot of credit for certain things. Anyway, chips, potato chips. When they're deep fried and then they're not finished in your facility of selling, a restaurant or whatever, and then you store them and then bring them out and reheat them again, it's grown aflatoxins that are indestructible by heat, which will cause a lot more injury, not only stomach problems like ulcers and gastritis and GERD and many others, it'll cause cancer. And so, because of the aflatoxins and the deep frying, the molecular value has totally changed. The taste changes slightly. So what you do, you deep fry it in your fat. Now, what fat are you using in the first place? Today, you don't know what you're taking. Let me start there. And especially today in Kenya.
Okay.
We don't know what is healthy oil. I can go into a lot of trouble right now by naming names, but I don't do that.
Let's not name names.
You know what I mean? Africa is suffering from problems which the West and the East are bringing to us unknowingly. Selling cheap oil, which is actually gata. And saturated fats, plant fats, which of course are advertised as good oils. That in itself, when it goes beyond a certain degree, 70 degrees centigrade, which is our boiling point is what, 98 in Nairobi. Once you start having that in contact with your food, the nutrients that are there, the antioxidants, the good stuff that is in a potato or in any other thing that you're deep frying, totally disappears. And you change it into something unrecognizable by your gut. And so some of these things will cause not only gastritis, but so many other conditions. So what we need more is that people to be more educated and more aware of what they're eating. Make choices, make good choices, because we're not living in 20 years ago. 20 years ago, things were better. 30 years were even better. In fact, 40 years was way better. I heard my sister talking about regularity. People used to know lunchtime is between 12 and 1. I mean, people grew knowing that you have 2 meals a day, morning and evening. If you must have lunch, it's at this particular time. Any time is eating time now for most people. Snacking is the eating on the go. Even restaurants have developed ways in which you can eat on the go, and they pack it for you, and you go. Or you eating as you work. And unfortunately, the physiology, the anatomy and physiology of the body has not changed. God has not changed the way He did things. It's still the same body and the same natural laws as it was made. And so when you eat in between that eating the designated times that you have designated your body to receive food, and you don't have that break to even allow digestion to happen. Simple digestion takes an average of 5 hours. When you eat food, you don't want to eat anything in between except water. And then after 5 hours, your food, or the bolus that you put in the stomach component right there, takes 5 hours to leave through the duodenum, going to travel all the way through your other 36 feet long until you empty it. Now, when you keep adding, you're restarting the digestive system all over again and all over again and all over again. And let me tell you, cells in the body, in the gut, are very much related to the cells in your brain and the cells in the heart. And we're going to talk about that if we have the time. You hear people say, na tumbo iliniambia tu kwamba fulani ako mgonjwa.
Yes, right?
Na tumbo iliniambia tu kwamba fulani hayuko. You know, things like that. And you hear someone else says you, my heart told me. I felt it in the heart. That was the right person for me. You know? Or that job is mine. My heart told me. Another one says, nilijua. In fact, akili yangu iliniambia tu. So, the mind and the way we interpret certain situations outside of us involves the gut, involves the heart, involves the mind. If we go into the anatomy of that, the anatomy and physiology of that, it's a different subject. We can do a whole program on that. But coming back to food, there's so much acidic food on our tables today. Good food that was, for example, cabbage is a very alkaline vegetable. Spinach is a very alkaline vegetable. But once you start cooking it, beyond 3 minutes, it starts producing what you call volatile oils and acidic substances that are corrosive. And once you eat it, and that's why your general GP or most doctors will tell you when you are diagnosed of ulcers or gastritis,
usikule skuma. And we actually wear that as a brand. Unajua miskulangi skuma wiki. Unajua miskulangi sijui.
But can I reveal to you a miracle? That's skuma wiki, organic skuma wiki. If you juice it and take it before it oxidizes in 30 minutes, and you've juiced it properly, not a centrifuge or a masticating juicer, it's medicine. It heals that same thing. If you take a glass of kale juice, kale, organic, no chemicals, ile imekuliwa na wadudu imemea naturally.
Yeah. And we run away from that. We want that one that shines.
Yes.
You know.
If you juice it and take a glass or two a day, and repeatedly you're taking alkaline foods, your ulcers is gone. It heals it in 7 days. If you cook it for 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes, that same kale is wonderful alkaline vegetables, very good. It helps you decongest constipation. It helps you solve a lot of other problems. Even related to women. Today we're not talking about
Maybe
the same skuma wiki, when you cook it for 10 minutes and above, using gutter oil, using saturated fats, which you believe this is in salad, in mzuri. When you cook it and you take mpaka inakuwa laini and you eat it, it's poison. It's so acidic, it will kill you. And repeatedly. So you can see that thing, it has several stages. It's the same substance, but changes its molecular value, and it gives you a different effect on your body. Same applies to potatoes. Same applies to so many other things. Now, the other way that food is affecting you, we talked about irregularity, eating all the times. We've talked about the way you present your food. The other way is the way we take in many varieties of different items of food that do not combine together.
I think we'll talk about that after the break so that we have enough time to really go through it, because that is one of the other things.
Looks like we don't have time to do that. It should not be enough. This program is not enough to describe.
We need 5 hours, right? So that we really go into it. But also, Nancy, just very briefly, in terms of the foods that we need to eat to sort of like help us when it comes to our brain health. Because if you're saying the brain and the gut and the heart, you said, share sort of like the cells are more or less the same. So whatever it is that we feed will impact our gut, our heart, and our brain. So can we just talk about those foods? Because hey, now I am depressed, distressed, stressed.
Depressed, distressed, distressed. Oh dear.
Well, that's an interesting cocktail.
Right? A whole
but
concoction.
We'll need to separate that. So basically for your stomach, as Dr. has alluded, you need to have a little bit of the alkaline food, right? Because the stomach does produce what? Acid by itself, So it's important for you to do your research and find out what works with you. Because as he said, when I eat skumas that are cooked less than 3 minutes, even my whole being is happy. You know, it tastes different, it feels different. I experience the food differently. So everybody needs to observe, how are you experiencing that food, right? Or are you taking the food to try and compensate for something that is not working right? For example, female health, during the cycle, we have times we crave certain things. Right? So you might crave potatoes because they are salty. What is that communicating to you? Because for your brain to communicate, you have to have enough, a good level of salt for the electrolytes communication, because it does communicate through that system. So observe your body, listen to how you're experiencing the food, and you'll know what is right to have, okay? And then also what your health needs are. If you usually go for checkups, you will learn what you're deficient in, right? Because it's good to be able to fill it up to the level of balance. Because as we've understood, at the end of the day, everybody has to achieve a certain level of balance. We could say maybe fish is good for your brain because of the omega, or the rosemary is good because it helps with your memory, or you can say ndomas, arrowroots are good because they help your body produce certain chemicals, right? But your system will communicate that. And if you have good habit within the home, even the people you're supporting or who are observing or who are learning from you also adapt those good habits.
That's true.
Okay? Sometimes when we travel out of the country, you go to somewhere like Rwanda, they have fermented ugali. My God, you know? And a lot of foreigners will not eat anything else other than that fermented ugali. There's the health benefit, and Daktari can break that up for us. There's health benefit that comes with fermented food. There's health benefit that comes with certain vegetables being eaten in certain states or conditions. There are times you will want to eat a salad, and you know the place that does the right salad, because your body needs to cleanse, you know. So different stages of your life will also tell you what you require, right?
That's true. I hear that. And it's very interesting, because the things that are good for not just our gut but our brain, we run away from.
We do.
And we want to, you know, conform to these other things that
maybe
are not
we want
good
to overwork the body to get to that, right? So the simpler, the better.
And the healthier.
So don't make it too complex, you know. We have solutions in the supermarket, quick snack, you know, or in the restaurant near you, quick snack. But if you paid attention in your home, the health benefit you derive from that is high. And you know, if we all went that way, even the market itself would change, because our needs have also evolved.
Watch out when they break on that note. You ponder, okay? I'm not even going through your feedback now. You just think on that, okay? And then when we come back from the break, we'll go through your feedback on the question that we're asking you. What is your go-to remedy when your stomach is acting up? And if there's some of the things that you have picked from the conversation, you're like, whoa, wait, made me guilty of all those things. Also, let us know, share with us as well, so that we can correct each other and unlearn some of these habits that predisposes us to so many issues, including gastritis and other stomach issues, okay? So we're taking a break. When we come back, there's still so much to discuss on the other side. So see you then. Welcome back. Oh my days, let me tell you, the conversation today, and I really hope that you're picking a lot from the show. You know, I'm also picking some of the things that I'm like, wait, Winnie, guilt, guilt, you're guilty of this and this and this. And I'm pretty sure you can also, you know, sort of like conceptualize and take in what we're talking about this morning, and internalize and look at the things that you do on a day-to-day basis, and how does it expose you, predispose you to some of these conditions that we're seeing. And like we said, H. pylori, if we do a poll right now to say metudi nani ashaitumia hiyo kiti ya H. pylori, how many of you will say yes? I know a lot of people will, okay? But Daktari said there's some of these foods that we can take and they will reverse the situation. So let us know if you have a question. Our WhatsApp number is on your screen, as well as our digital platforms. So that is at NTV Kenya across all board is how you can reach us. But just to remind you, the question of the day, and that is, what is your go-to remedy when your stomach is acting up? I'll be looking at your feedback on WhatsApp, and as we prepare for that, I can see a number of you on Facebook. Jerry Kathika, who says thorn melon and apple cider is what they use. And then Forever Ime anasema concentrated salt in warm water. Okay. Mayuse Mzee Ogada anasema activated charcoal. They use that. And then mwingine anasema, Peter Ndalo anasema naeka pilipili kama 7 kwa sukuma wiki ya 10 bob. Okay.
I love that guy.
Okay. We'll come back and unpack a little bit of that. And then mwingine anasema, Ernest Wasonga anasema, the peacemaker, pilipili ndogo ndogo. Ndeka hiyo ndani ya chakula. And then Ali Baba anasema marubaini, I think. And then Jujas Mudhoni anasema, when your stomach is acting up, watermelon and guavas are natural remedies, especially with bloating, okay? And then Cyprian Awiti anasema, boil water and add salt into it, okay? But keep sending in your views, eh? I'm really curious to hear what you guys have to say. But let's look at WhatsApp, what you guys are saying as far as what is your go-to remedy as far as, or when your stomach is acting up. Okay, so this one says, hi doc, I have been admitted to hospital 7 times now because of stomach-related issues. They've done endoscopy and diagnosed with acute, can we just go up? So yes, with acute gastritis, taken medication to no avail. Now the doctor has recommended colonoscopy. Chronic constipation is the order of the day. So we will answer that. And then this one says, I take stomach discomforts very seriously. Whenever I get stomach discomfort, I quickly book an appointment with their doctor, okay? And then this one says, how should one avoid stress so as to reduce the chance of stomach discomfort? Hey, Nancy, to avoid that stress. Hi, this one says, good morning, Winnie and the panelists. I think, can we remove the cursor? So I see, yes. I think salty water is my first remedy. And then says, Winnie, I have a question. I was diagnosed with high blood pressure and I'm under medication. Per day, I take 5 different drugs. Oh, yeah. My question is, can this affect my stomach? And secondly, what is the side effect of taking this drug, aspirin? Okay. And then this one says, hi, my name is Catherine. Nimekuwa na shida. Sometimes I need to belch, but haitoki. So inabidi nikunywe kitu kama Coke, soda, ndio inisaidie, but sometimes inakuwa very painful. And then I think Dr. you can advise them on what to do. And then this one says, hi, I am Melilei driver. When I have stomach discomfort, I feel weak and dull, and especially when I taste milk, it becomes more uncomfortable and they have a lot of gas. I go for this dawa. Doctor, you know this kadawa, yeah? They've highlighted there. And then they say, how can you advise me? Okay. All right. And then this one says, hi, doing lots of water, 2 liters per day, vegetables regularly, fruits too, but I got pellets with lots of stress and force out in the washroom. What's up? Okay, I'm not too sure. Nimeshika but well, okay. And then kuna mtu hapa anasema maji ya sukari na chumvi. That is their go-to remedy. And then this one says, hello, your world. I am Victor from Nandi, pertaining kale soup. Am I allowed to take it, to take that if I've got ulcers? And in addition, I've got a problem also during meal times. I always feel full, and yet I have not taken anything. Okay, can we just start with that, Dr.
I've seen very interesting, feedback. Very interesting. Kuna moja alisema sukuma wiki na pilipili tano.
Kumi.
Yeah.
Because sukuma ya 10 bob.
I know. Yeah, that one. I said I love that guy.
Yeah.
Pilipili is known to heal over 99 diseases in different forms. Okay. But pilipili cooked and deep fried and karangwed is poisonous. It causes a lot of stomach problems. The victim is capsaicin, which is a substance that is found in chilies. And there are various types of chilies. There's cayenne, there's habaneros, there's various with different heat properties. Yeah. Now, the pharmaceutical world has made a lot of drugs out of chili as well, because of the very many medicinal properties that it has. Yeah. When used properly in the right way, it can be a medicine. When used in the wrong way, it can be so lethal. The same ulcers can be alleviated, or gastritis can be alleviated if you use it in a dried form, powdered in cold water. It can help to alkalinize the system, as opposed to what people think it's acidic.
Interesting.
When you cook it or eat it raw and cook it, it is acidic. And when you cook it, you release the volatile oils that are corrosive in the chili, depending on what sort of chili it is, because there are several types of chilies. Running away from that, coming back to sukuma wiki, because it took a field day.
Yeah.
Like I said, the more you cook it, the more injurious it becomes. If you take it in a raw form, it's unpleasant. It is bitter. It's a bitter gourd. It's not very nice tasting. But when it comes here, in its raw form, like when you juice it and you don't leave it for a long time, because a lot of people say, the working class of today, juice a lot overnight, and then you put it in the fridge.
The freezer, then you take it in the morning.
You don't do that with natural medicine or natural foods, because then oxidation happens, then it renders them all useless. So don't juice it and put it in the store. Okay. No, unless you have a vacuum fridge, or if you have a vacuum machine that can store in jars, glass jars, in a vacuum situation, whereby when you open, the first thing that happens, you can even hear a popping, because then oxygen is rushing in there to start its work of oxidation. Yeah. But once you start storing things for later, because you don't have time and you're catching up with traffic and the rest of it, you might as well forget it. Now, this condition we're talking about, gastritis, when I come back to it, it's best to understand that people behave differently, or there are core symptoms, but there are other related symptoms depending on what other thing you are dealing with. Yeah. There are people who experience constipation, and your stool becomes pellets and very difficult to come out. And sometimes you don't even go for days or even weeks. I have had patients who visit me and they've been on these kits and everything, and they've not gone to the toilet for 1 month. And we sort it out. Yeah. And 10 years later, they've never experienced it again. Yeah. So there are other symptoms that come by or associate with your gastritic situation. There are people who end up even having polyps. There are people who end up having more difficult conditions associated or started with simple gastritis. If you look up even in the internet, you'll find that you can heal gastritis in a day. You can heal gastritis in a day. And you can heal gastritis in several years.
Okay.
Okay? Now, gastritis is an inflammation of that whole region, the stomach, and it can go to intestinal regions. Yeah. Ulcers is one patch. Is a patch which has become inflamed, and it becomes a kidonda. All right? And the pain is more severe in that particular region. It could be your esophagus, it could be your stomach, it could be your duodenal area, it could be intestinal. It is a patch that is really inflamed. Gastritis is a large area of inflammation. Okay? Now, when you are engaged in practices of using substances that are not good for you, acidic stuff, fried foods, bad foods, or alcohol for that matter, or not sleeping enough. You know, not sleeping enough repeatedly, and you have a deficit of your sleep bank, it becomes so difficult to heal any disease at all. And if you're taking other substances, you're abusing narcotics, you're abusing nicotine, caffeine, what do you call them? Amphetamines, nicotine, caffeine, tar, and the rest of it. Once you're consuming them in so many ways, you consume it in soda, you're consuming it in NSAID disease, drugs like the painkillers and the rest of them, which continue to erode away your stomach lining. And so all these things you need advice. So there's no one particular way of dealing with a gastritic patient. And that's why you find there are people saying, ilikuwa ni thornapple na
apple cider.
Apple cider. Another one says sukuma wiki na mwingine is fermented whatever. So there's so many ways that you get relief depending on also how far away you've ran away into the acidic grid.
Okay.
Are you very acidic or slightly acidic or mildly acidic or severely acidic? So the more acidic you are, the higher the more gross your inflammation is. And so somebody might get relief by taking just an antacid and get relief. Another one says, no, that is impossible. Natapika damu, nikienda choo naona damu, mimi naharisha, mimi sifanyi kuvimbirwa. I mean, there's no constipation, but you're having loose stool. Both of them are having gastritis or ulcers or acidosis for that matter. and others are regurgitating and having very terrible issues. So there's no one particular patient that is the same as the other. For some others, it will end up being cancer. For some others, it will be dominantly gastritis for so long. For others, it is causing other issues that it's lowering your immune system, so you're catching pneumonia, you're catching this, you're getting arthritis, joint pains and all that. So it's not only, this is a factory. It's your stomach is your factory of your existence.
Literally your body and everything.
And so once it is inflamed, depending on what you are feeding your body, then you take that tangent of the toxic waste that you're putting into your body.
Hey, Nancy.
Yes. Right.
There's a question for you here. How should one avoid stress so as to reduce the chance of stomach discomfort?
Well, stress is caused by various things, right? It could be work, it could be, education, it could be money, financial, it could be trying to gain a social setting. So depending on
could be politics.
Yeah, could be the could be within your control, and could be external, right? So we have to understand what is that thing that is pushing you in that state of distress, right? Is it something external? Is it how you're responding to it, right? Or is it something internal? So internal, if it is a disease, then you do have to go to get treatment for it, right? Because there is no bridge over health. You cannot, jump over it and say, you have to go through it. So seek the appropriate professionals to support you if it has to do with your health. If it is about the environment where you're existing and it's causing you discomfort, then maybe learn, are you underskilled, right? Are you overskilled, right? Are you positioned well? What are your chances of negotiating into a position of comfort, right? Because at the end of the day, you still have to influence your environment as much as you give it permission to influence you, right? And if you feel disabled, then that's not the right place for you to be. You have to self-preserve. You have to look for mechanism and ways to be equipped for not for survival. I don't want to say for survival, for productivity, right? Because when you're productive, you're healthy. If you're not productive, then there's a chance of a challenge. There are people who insist in being in situations which are incompatible with them, right? For example, like if you're just sent to an organization that speaks German and you have no background in German, right? It will be stressful because you'll be trying to figure out, are they talking about me? Am I missing out? So learn to position yourself in environments that support you and can uplift you in being the better version of yourself, okay? And if you need help in figuring that out, that is why now someone like me,
like you,
exist.
Can we also talk about sleep? Because Doc mentioned that sleep is one of those important things that we ignore, we overlook, and we make this joke every day and say, tutalala mbinguni. Tutalala mbinguni.
You can't procrastinate sleep, because your body will demand for it. It will demand for it through an illness, where now you have to be given medication that don't cost you, that take away energy for you to heal, right? And because today we are looking at habits, and we talked about alcohol consumption or, all those other indulgences that people have, they do have in social setting. So when you're in those social settings, when you don't have a time boundary for yourself, then you will find yourself deprived because you're just going by the wave. It's good to know I'll go out up to 9 p.m. because my circadian rhythm and biological clock knows that I start sleeping at 9. But if you push it to midnight, you've already destabilized yourself and your biology is confused as to what is going on. The substances probably you're taking, if they are stimulating, it will push away the chances for you to rest or to cool down, land the plane, and and sleep. We find a lot of people who've taken substances like alcohol having challenges in landing the plane. When I say landing the plane, you go to bed, but your mind is not able to click the switch and shut down, right? So observe the habits you have could be the reasons why you have other health conditions that are lingering, right? We can go to the extreme of those like cancer and things like those, and there are still some, you know, very mild issues like indigestion, right? Daktari will back this up, because if, for example, somebody is used to, most of the time there's indigestion and you have to throw up, then you do raise pressure in some of your body parts. And that pressure could be in your head, could be in your eyes, you know, and could be around your ears where you're sensing. Remember, we experience the world through our senses, right? So it will give you that relief of your stomach, but then you will be left with other challenges that you're healing over time. So that's to answer that in a broad perspective.
I see.
Yeah.
Do not overlook sleep, really. It's important. Doc, there's a question here. This one says, this is Victor from Nandi, who was asking pertaining kale soup. Am I allowed to take it if I've got ulcers? Kale soup.
Kale soup.
Yeah.
Now, when you boil it and you're going past 3 minutes, all the antioxidants that are meant to go into your body and grab onto the free radicals that you are suffering from, because at the end of the day, most of the conditions, inflammation, it's about free radicals. So when you destroy the components that grab that in your body, it's useless. So you'll taste, and he might say, na siku ingine niligunywa na nikasikia mzuri. There's also the psychogenesis, or rather the brain overriding certain situation, and you feel better. Because healing is also 50% brain activity, or your mind status. But scientifically, once you overcook certain antioxidants present in vegetables and in whatever place, once you overcook them, then they are not going to help you as they enter in. So you enjoy the taste of sukuma wiki, umeweka kachumbi kidogo na kachumbari, hiyo nanino na wewe nasikia mzuri, unaenda unalala, unasikia basi nimepona. But a week later, na hiyo kitu merudi, mbona nasikia na sasa wacha niende nione daktari. So it's a question of understanding. Once you increase temperatures above what your antioxidants present in the vegetables have destroyed them, then they're useless. But once you consume them in the antioxidants present in the vegetables, either by juicing or undercooking, like slightly raw, like your cabbage, your kale or spinach, all of them, if you take them while they're still live, then they come into your body and release the electrons, the extra electrons that they have, to your free radical that is causing inflammation, which usually has one. That's microbiology now. Because the free radicals have got one electron, which is notorious in making mucus. Once you supply more electrons from the antioxidants that you've consumed, and they've not oxidized outside of you, they go and oxidize inside of you, they supply the electron to the free radical, and then it becomes stable. It stops being putrefactive, or that activity of it consuming others that are within its area and causing more and more inflammation.
I see that. The second part to that question, very quickly, and then we go on a break, was in addition, I've got a problem also during mealtime. I always feel full and yet have not taken anything. Is that related to the condition itself?
This is a very common feeling for many people. You're underproducing your digestive enzymes. More often, you find that you're constipated. Now, constipation for a lot of people is you're not going to the toilet and it's hard. No. Constipation is when you consume 2 meals a day and you are going once a day to the toilet. Or you're consuming 3 meals a day, which most people do, and you're going to the toilet. You're constipated. Constipation starts when you're not removing what you've taken. Your breakfast should be pushing out breakfast. Your lunch should be pushing out lunch. Your supper should be pushing out supper. Ask any breastfeeding mother. The moment they breastfeed, 4 hours later, the baby goes.
The baby goes, okay.
What is it removing? The 4 hours ago breastfeeding.
Okay.
The digestive system has done very quickly, and the digestive system of a baby is still perfect. It's not been corrupted and the rest of it. So a lot of people are constipated, and let me go back to the old adage that says constipation is the mother of all diseases. And that is what I know how to treat the best. Once you get rid of constipation, you can get rid of practically almost any disease, including a sound mind. Because your brain is connected to the stomach parasympathetically. The sympathetic nerve connects the two. And so when your stomach is sick, your brain is sick. When your brain is sick, your stomach is sick.
Why? On a break. Are you getting? I've been tandikwa today on the show. These are the things that we do on a day-to-day basis that predisposes us to conditions like gastritis. Well, let's take a break, and then when we come back, we'll also take in another round of your feedback as well and your questions. So keep sending them either on our WhatsApp number as well as our digital platforms, and that is on Facebook and on X. So we'll see you after the break. All right, welcome back to the show. Clearly, there's someone who's messing with the clock today because but I really hope that you're getting useful insights from the conversation this morning as far as the daily habits, the things that we do on a day-to-day basis that predisposes us to conditions. And today our focus is on gastritis, okay? And we're saying if you have a question, please send it our way. And that is at NTV Kenya on our digital platforms, or use our WhatsApp number, which is down on your screen. And speaking about WhatsApp, let's see. Nasema nini? And also just to remind you of the question of the day, and that is, what is your go-to remedy when your stomach is acting up? So huyo anasema, me usually take lactose-free milk. Okay. And then this one says, hello, this is Chebet. Oh, hi, Chebet. And then it says, I've lived for years with acute gastritis and a couple of stomach issues. However, the beauty is that the past 6 years I have been gastritis-free and stomach issues-free. My solution, to sum it up, was eating non-activating foods and, importantly, nervous system regulation. I had to cut out sugars and a huge percentage of carbs off my diet. My body had issues processing them, and I had to be off them for a while. I drink milk now. That said, I have been doing great. Bottom line, regulating my system and eating the foods that my body asks for, is comfortable with, and has been, and that has been her cheat code. Thank you so much, Chebet. I see the wink. Okay. And then this one says, hello. Whenever I eat anything, my stomach hurts and I immediately feel nauseated. And I have very bad smelling fats and poop. And I burp a lot, even after drinking water. Hey, daktari, tamsaidia you. And then this one says, I would like to know why I feel discomfort on my lower sides of the stomach, the area of the kidneys feeling like cramps. I don't know how cramps feel. I am a man, but they feel like they're cramping. Okay, I see that. This one says, hi, Winnie, flagyl anytime, any day. It clears stomach discomfort for my whole family. Always ndani ya kibeti. This is Ndungu watching from Embakasi East. Thank you so much, Ndungu. And then this one says, pellets in the loo is like the goats. I think this is a continuation. Like the goat's excretion. What causes that? Yes, I think Daktari probably, I think you talked about it a little bit, the pellets, but yeah, we can also talk about it. And then this one says, I was diagnosed with H. pylori and introduced to the kit 2 times. Still no change. I'm also asthmatic, and I realized when I have the acid reflux and take prednisolone, I think, the reflux disappears completely. What is the connection? Okay. And then this one says, hi, when I wake up in the morning, sometimes when I'm brushing my teeth, I feel like vomiting. What can or what could be the problem. And then this one says, hello, I am Dennis. My stomach always growls out loud, and especially in the morning when I am in class, and it is so embarrassing for me. What can be the remedy? Okay. This one says, hello, Winnie. I am Eric from Machakos. Just ask the doctor to help me manage and treat my gastritis that has extended to the colon. And then I am experiencing intense burning and discomfort on my lower left abdomen once I take my meals. It only stops for hours when I take blended bananas with dragon fruit. Okay. And then this one says, hello, I have been experiencing stomach discomfort accompanied by noticeable sounds, like food moving in my abdomen whenever I change positions. I would appreciate guidance on what this might indicate, okay? And then this one says, doctor, what can I do to heal my gut health? Naturally, I'm always on antacids. I have checked on H. pylori regularly, but none. Please advise. Then continues to say, how can I cure gastritis naturally without using medications or heal the stomach lining? Okay. Can we check those ones first? Yes, and then we can answer the rest as we continue. So probably we can start with that one, or just maybe compile them based on what you can remember.
Healing gastritis, like I said right from the beginning, it can be a day and it can take years to deal with it, to live with it, not to heal. But healing the natural way, I've dealt with gastritis or severe gastritis, duodenal, intestinal gastritis, all sorts of parts of the gut. Key thing is to understand fast, to understand your diet. To understand that you're not, you know, a lot of people come to me and say, Daktari, mimi nimeokoka, sikunywi pombe, na mimi niko na shida ya tumbo. So we say, okay, do you take pombe? He looks like me, like, I told you I am saved.
Nimeokoka. Yes,
oh,
Yesu ni
okay,
Bwana.
I'm sorry. But okay, let me ask you one more question. Do you, at one point, find yourself taking vegetables and, fruit? Oh, that is normal. I take fruits and vegetables at the same meal. Oh, then that's where you make your alcohol. When you mix alkaline foods and acidic foods at the same meal and digest at the same time, you make pombe. You make alcohol, and when you repeatedly do that, it affects you, and your liver absorbs it and stores it, and eventually keeps releasing that alcohol into your gastrointestinal tract, which affects you adversely. So healing gastritis the natural way is very possible. You don't have to go for the ESO kits and the rest of it. Yes, you can, but if you want a difference, it is possible. Understanding your meal fast. Secondly, the circadian clock. Sleeping the right hours, giving yourself the right rest. Thirdly, how much water are you taking into your body? How much are you hydrating your body? A lot of people who are inflamed, a lot of people who are dealing with infections are dehydrated. And your body is supposed to be 80% water. But most of the time you're walking around with 70, 65%, which is, you're caking, you're dying really. And it's a recipe for any other condition. So find ways to hydrate your body, at least checking on your weight, and averagely, if you're 60, 70 kilos, you're supposed to take between 6 to 8 glasses of water a day. If you have more weight in your body, more water is required. And how much water do we need to, when do we take it? Don't take water and meals at the same time, because you stop the digestive system fast to absorb the water within your stomach walls. And the food that it takes 1 hour to absorb 1 glass of water in your stomach takes 1 hour. The food that you had eaten, let's say it's about half a kilo of the food that you gobbled down, it rots. It starts putrefaction right there because there's a lot of bacteria within that region. And once it starts rotting, it's recipe, and then it restarts digestion again. It's recipe for making more acids and more poisons. So uliona wengine wanasema mimi niko na gas mbaya, natoa masauti napita kama kuna streets na nini kama hiyo. All this is because of these habits of eating in the wrong way.
Yeah.
You could be eating the right things, but combining them in the wrong way and using them various times that you're not required. So when you sleep enough hours, like 7 to 8 hours a day, then your circadian clock adjusts so many other things and functions of your body, the functions of the endocrine system, the functions of the circulatory system, the functions of the gastrointestinal tract system. All these things are reset to give you vital energy enough to run you the following day.
Okay.
But when you are saying, then you're saying to nature's laws, stay aside.
You don't
let me
know.
Let me do this the way I usually do it. And then eventually your system starts breaking down, and not only gastritis attacks, but many other conditions that follow on, and it becomes like a domino effect. One disease leads to another and another and another and another. What was the other question?
So there was, I think, a number of them you've actually, combined together. But this one says, manage and treat my gastritis that has extended to the colon, and I'm experiencing intense burning and discomfort in the lower left abdomen once I take my meals, and it only stops for hours when I take blended banana with dragon fruit. Then there was the other one, the stomach growls in the morning. I think you've answered that. And then there's another one where they're brushing their teeth, they feel like vomiting. What could be the problem? And then probably couple that with diagnosed with H. pylori, introduced to the kit.
Yeah, that is what I was looking for.
Yeah,
and
they're also asthmatic.
Without H. pylori. There are many people with stomach problems. Then the H. pylori index is normal. Okay? So the culprit, Helicobacter pylori, is not necessarily the cause of diseases. By the way, I'm yet to find anyone who has no H. pylori. Helicobacter pylori is resident in the human body since childhood. But when it escalates and goes beyond the threshold that the body can be able to entertain, then it starts causing inflammation and the rest of it, which you can deal with various ways by bringing it. You can never finish it. You can only bring it to acceptable levels in your body. Now, this person is having gastritis and not having Helicobacter pylori, anashangaa mbona yangu inatoka wapi. We alluded to the fact that there are so many other causes. Corrosive food, or rather acidic foods, alcohol. You form your own alcohol if you're not taking the one from the counter. And you don't get into bars, but you get into your kitchen and manufacture your own alcohol, and you're taking it repeatedly. And so therefore you are eroding away those things, and then you're not sleeping because of stress. Maybe you're having in-laws problems. Maybe you're having shamba unanyang'anywa. Maybe you're having many things that are tuliambiwa iko stressed na distressed. So you're distressed, and you're stressed because you are distressed, and you are stressed because you are distressed. So as that goes on, your body is completely communicating with you that my flora and fauna is not normal. The other thing is you could be having an imbalance of the good and the bad bacteria in your gut. Once that happens, then definitely you will have stomach erosion and irritable bowel syndrome. And probably this person does not have gastritis. It could be an ulcer. It could be a polyp. It could be any other gastrointestinal tract dysfunction that is causing pain and the rest of it. So proper diagnosis is also very important. Self-medication is somewhere again that people go wrong when they do not understand exactly what their problem is, and then you rush and go and get an antacid or the normal non-steroidal medicines that erode your stomach. I could mention some of them, but no. These dawas are over the counter. Let me just say, in a nutshell, a lot of over-the-counter drugs that people are self-medicating can also erode away your mucosal necessary mucous membranes.
Sasa, then, okay, we'll come back and then understand. So then what do we take to help in the production of the mucus, to at least help protect our lung, if that is possible, if we can?
It is very possible,
yeah.
Winnie.
We'll answer that, but can we answer, there's something you wanted to respond to on constipation and how we naturally train our brain. Come and see your loo in your house. You're holding. Can we just address how terrible that is?
You see, there are many people who view life from a perspective of a bucket. Let me use that.
Okay.
All they do is take in and hold. And we will only know there's a challenge when there's an overflow.
Yes.
So long as there's no overflow, they are still holding, right? Yeah. So you hold your emotions, you hold your feelings, you hold your experiences, you know, you hold the food you've eaten because you feel you're not at your comfortable space to release that. Yeah. And as Dr. alluded to that, if you're eating 3 meals, you should go to the toilet three times. If you're not going 3 times, then you're going through constipation. And that constipation means you will be left with traces in your body of the fecal matter that has not come off. And it can be there for years, you know, shocking to learn that.
We were all like, we're dead, yes.
Shocking to learn that, right? But what is that telling you? That you need to have better habits when it comes to self-care. All these things we're talking about, if we give ourselves attention, the right amount of attention, then we would alleviate most of these problems. There are habits like when you go to the bathroom and you're going for number 1 or number 2, do you take time? Or are you in a rush? I mean, it's you, right?
Or you go with your phone.
Yeah, you're distracted, right? Read a book maybe, or a magazine, you know, listen to some relaxing music if you want to. But, you know, have better relationship with yourself, because if you don't have that, then you'll have these other struggles that come up. Like, take your time. When you're eating, digestion begins in the mouth, okay? So your dental care is also quite important. If you're lacking some molars, it means you don't grind food well enough, and by the time it's going to the stomach, it's going in a form that it should not have gone into. So you're overworking your system. So take your time, pay attention. The way, like us ladies, we go to the, you know, salon and we want them to take time with our hair and nails. Are you taking time? The men, when they go to the barber shop, they want the barber to take time on them. Take time with yourself when you're trying to, whether you're consuming or you're removing. Give yourself enough time, because I know my kids, sometimes they'd be in a hurry because they don't want to miss out on what's going on. So they quickly run to the toilet and come back. So my goal usually is go sit down until it comes out. When it comes out, then come.
Then you come.
And over time, they learn to center themselves in the point of being in this room was so that I can release, right? Holding urine, holding number 2 poop is not healthy, right? Because poop goes to the large intestine where it's excreted in the right form to come out without causing distress. If it continues to stay there, there is absorption of water and other toxin back into the system, right? If you hold urine for too much, there are times we've had people talk of their kidneys going into, either they've leaked, they've burst, or there's infiltration of the whatever was to be excreted back to the system. Putting you in a state of, you will lose a lot of finances. You're going to lose out on time and personal growth because you overlooked self-care.
I see that. We rush through things, and especially in this day and age, that the things that are important, we just want to rush through it because we got things to do, places to be, and
that
people to see. It is self-neglect.
So we need to now turn the pages back to, I'm paying attention to me because I matter. And it is me who needs to function well in order to be, in order to experience, in order to live. So what are those habits that you can develop today.
Practice good habit. I say that. I was actually reading, and even the way we sit on your comfortable loo when you get home also matters. There's some people who will struggle to release because the way you're sat is not the right way. Like, it's a whole lot, okay? So take time. Self-care.
And
I want to believe that's part of self-care as well. And Doc, we have less than 10 minutes to go. Looking at then how do we reverse the habits, the bad habits, sasa, and then adopt the good habits that will promote good gut health and even, our brains as well. What are some of those things that we can do?
First thing, go back to settings.
Okay.
When God made man, in creation, he gave him food. That's Genesis chapter 1 and verse 29. He gave food for man and he gave food for all other animals, kind of, in verse 30. Food for man was what? All grains, all fruits, no vegetables yet. And then in chapter 3, he gives us vegetables. After we sinned, that's when we were given vegetables. So fruits, vegetables, and grains have fiber. When you take it as apart and you take away the fiber and you leave the refined and then make it sweet and then it's palatable, more palatable and quick, causes disease, many others. But when you eat it whole, it is beneficial for us. So simply put, eat fruits and vegetables in their natural form, as naturally as possible without complicating them. Frequency, give yourself time. Give yourself time between meals. Drink good, clean water, because a lot of waters are poisoned with aluminum and chlorine and the rest of them, which one day we'll talk about chlorine here, how much it has become a pandemic. It's causing trouble left, right, and center in this world. There are cities, people wanafanya maandamano, chlorine itolewe kwa maji. Because of the amount of diabetes, amount of arthritis, and many other diseases. But hey, look at our cities. So invest on a good filter. Or buy filtered water. Or better still, make sure that you invest on knowledge. My lines are free. I try and give as many hours free service to churches and establishments and teach, because it's also a way of evangelism, to evangelize and tell people how to live properly. But when it comes to you being knowledgeable about other things, you are more knowledgeable about your accounts, your marketing, your other things, but you're not knowledgeable about yourself. Well, I teach, I help to educate people. So in that is in a nutshell, as a foundational thing. Try and improve on your eating habits. Don't take it for granted that food is just food. It can be poison. And a lot of people are being poisoned by the foods. And all these diseases that you hear about, even if we came here today and discussed arthritis, we'll take 5 hours. We came here and discussed cancer, we'll take another 5 hours. And many others we will discuss, but the one thing that will be foundational will be chakula, will be food. So the way we present our food, the way we eat it, and how we eat it, and when we eat it, is going to be very important.
There was actually one thing that I remembered. The thing that we were to discuss, by no time is not on our side, is the combination, right? The food combination and the preparation as well.
Food combination is very important because we can take 2 items that are good and normally have a chart that I give to my patients, how to combine food. You can get 2 good foods, and even doctors make this mistake. You take this food and put it together in the same time and eat it. A few hours later, you have mind fog, you have forgetfulness, your stomach is not good, or you couldn't sleep well, or the following day you have issues. It affects, because we make a lot of alcohol all the time by mixing, mixing alkaline foods and acidic foods. Once we combine them in the same environment, we make alcohol and putrefied foods that are reabsorbed into the system, which cause many other conditions.
Okay. Sasa tumekupatia kitu ya kwenda kusoma. Understand alkaline foods and acidic foods, and and then figure out what do I do and how do I combine these two. But can we go through one more round of feedback on, especially on WhatsApp, before we say goodbye, because I can clearly see our time is not on our side. Please come back, because I feel there's so much that we need to go through. Okay, so this one says, Doc, what can I do or take to heal my gut health? Naturally, I'm always on antacid. I have checked on HP. I think we've answered this one. We've answered this one. So this one says, hi there, good stuff. Please explain chickenpox and stomach upset and its relationship. Interesting. Okay. Then my remedy is a glass of goat milk. Okay. And then this one says, hi, my mother has severe constipation and bowel movement problem. She has taken a lot of laxatives, but still it's a problem in here. Okay. And then this one says, hello, I am Richard from Kitui. What is the remedy of a stomach that is aching each minute? And then this one says, hello, Dr. I have been experiencing a hematochezia, and I have tried the insertions, but all in vain. I also quit alcohol because of some clinical officers suspected gastroenteritis. And this is Fred asking me a question. And then this one says, I started with no pain during periods, and now the cramps are becoming unbearable every month. The pain increases every month. What could be the problem? And then we have this one that says, hi, I'm Kelvin. Tell Dr. to tell us how to differentiate discomforts caused by gastritis and those ones caused by liver-related problems, because they appear way too similar. And then, hello, what makes my stomach bloat if I ate last night's fried meals? You talked about it.
Yes, I did.
And then this one says, I always have stomach disorders when I eat beans. What can add to my beans so that I may not have the disorder? Listen, please promise to come back again, both of you, because clearly we need to answer all these questions, but really in a nutshell. And I think, say what, like a minute or less for you both in just combining all those things. And one thing that you'd want someone to really, leave the show with today. What would you say, Dr. And then I'll come to Nancy.
You are what you eat.
Yeah.
How you eat it, and when you eat it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might Google, and a lot of people are selling things out there, and there's wrong information. See a professional. Find genuine advice on how to take care of your body. A lot of people suffer for lack of knowledge. And a naturopath is more of a teacher than a doctor, really. We disseminate more knowledge to people so that they can help solve their problems once and for all. It's not this repetitive issue. Give you something that will take your symptom down, and then take your symptom down, and then you keep coming, and someone is being rich out there. So a true naturopath will be a teacher that will not hoard information. I give out a lot of information, honestly. I try my best. I get blessings out of that as well, because definitely, I was telling my friend here, during my span of practice, I think I've done 3 generations now. Father, baby, and baby of the baby. They are now coming in. And it's very important to understand the basics of life. What are you doing to live?
What are you doing to live? Okay.
Are you sleeping well? Are you eating well? Are you drinking well? Are you exercising well? Are you exposing yourself to the right elements of nature? If you're doing all these things wrong, you are a candidate of disease.
Nancy, in 30 seconds, what would you say?
Well, pay attention to what your body is communicating to you, because it does. Pain should not be normalized, neither should discomfort. Experts exist for a reason to support you, and at the same time, we are at the age of knowledge. So do your research and verify. Verify that what you've learned is useful for you, right?
All right. Thank you so much, Nancy. And please come back again, okay? Daktari,
we will.
Kujeni tena. Clearly, from the feedback, there's so much that we need to cover. But for now, allow us to say thank you. Thank you for coming by today, educating us. Metuchapa kiboko hivi kidogo, we have unlearned and relearned, you know? So it's a really good thing. And also thank you for your feedback as well. And if you've not answered your question, we will keep them. We'll send them to Daktari and Nancy, and they'll be able to answer them. But for now, allow us to say thank you for staying with us until the end of the show. My name is Winnie Lubembe. God bless, and let's keep the conversation going online on our digital platforms. See you tomorrow. God bless.
Amen.